If you're 6'3" like me and 17, 18 stone, and you like to stand up for yourself, you're gonna get into trouble, aren't you? But I wasn't bothered about fighting. I thought I'll have a fight with anybody. Win, lose or draw, I'm out there. Shirt off, done and dusted. You know, what can you get? A few cuts and bruises, maybe on toothpaste, sprained nose or something. Man got cheeky to me, was getting it. Right up.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I don't think I let myself down there, but I didn't want to get in the ring to then have a roll around. Didn't fancy it, but I was looking around for you. Even
my life as a boxer to get to this point. I'm the #1 challenger, mandatory challenger. He said, I'll never get this slot again. I'll fight and I'll still beat him. No matter how I feel on the night, I won't feel like...
I'm a machine! Can anybody question who I am here? If I say we're fighting, men!
He promised me unequivocally that he would smash John Fury to pieces should the event actually happen. Again, you're looking at a former world champion in Carl Froch. You're looking at a former, he's a Hall of Famer, Carl Froch. You don't get into the Hall of Fame, the International Boxing Hall of Fame, without having been pretty damn decent in your own professional career.
John Fury allegedly loses his temper and headbutts Carl Froch during a heated face-off, turning what should have been a routine sit-down between two bitter rivals into complete chaos. The tension reportedly built through sharp words before John Fury suddenly drove his head into Froch's face, changing the entire atmosphere in seconds.
Fortunately, that's me. A change in seconds, you know what I'm saying? I can go from being like this to being the wildest person in the world in about a second and a half.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just how I am, you know, and things do. If I'm around rowdiness and fighting, I want to fight.
Eddie Hearn has watched John Fury threaten plenty of people without actually throwing a punch. So even he was caught off guard when the confrontation became physical.
You know, in that respect, I think it was out of character for John. Really? Like, how many times has he squared up to someone or shouted at someone and not done anything? But that's okay. I'd rather that. I think it's good for the fight and it's good for the show. This was different.
Hearn believes the situation crossed a personal line, while Carl Froch has made it clear he isn't going to simply forget what happened.
He's behaved like a thug in a disgusting manner, and then he's able to just laugh it off and joke it off and say, you know what, anyone comes near me, they're going to get a headbutt. So he's kind of justified what he's done. He's been vindicated for what he's done, as in, yeah, it's okay to go around like that and behave like an imbecile, and then still laugh and joke and still threaten to headbutt me in belly. I've told you what I think about headbutting this too. You know that's...
Johnny Nelson describes John Fury as completely swallowed by the moment. He believes Fury can become extremely reckless when his emotions take control, and this latest incident has only increased the pressure surrounding him.
The pressure is now on John to behave himself. He's distracted a lot of attention and talk, and I'm quite sure someone will have a word with Matt, the authorities will have.
Duke McKenzie sees a different side of the controversy. To him, the confrontation is marketing fuel for boxing because controversy creates attention.
It wouldn't surprise me, but like I say, I don't see there's any harm in it. It doesn't bring the sport into disrepute in any way. This is the show business world that we live in. There's the fight game and then there's the fight business. And from the business perspective, that's probably just sold another 1 million tickets worldwide to people to watch.
Johnny Nelson goes even further, suggesting that officials could eventually step in if the situation continues escalating. What began as a heated boxing rivalry could now carry consequences beyond simple promotional drama.
John is an emotional being, gets into the moment, forgets himself. You can see, excuse the bad language, but this is, you know, when you see that, this is the moment when he realised he beat up. It was that, you know, when John had done it, like, shit, what have I done? But he had to own it. I think the pressure was on. The pressure is now on John to behave himself. He's distracted a lot of attention and talk, and I'm quite sure someone will have a word with Matt, the authorities will have a word with him out there.
Duke McKenzie again emphasizes Froch's power, warning John Fury that he may have awakened a sleeping giant. Froch has built his reputation on devastating punching power, and that ability hasn't simply disappeared.
And that light bulb switches on. You know that Carl Froch is a bad man. He was when he was fighting, and he's probably got that same spite in him now. And if he lands one on Fury, then it could be quite devastating. And Froch has always been quite heavy-handed. Look what he did to George Groves. Ironed him out, and George Groves was world-class at that time. So everybody knows that the last thing you lose in boxing, if you're a natural puncher like a Froch, is your punch. And Froch, listen, Fury wouldn't be able to get out of the way of that. He doesn't know how to get out of the way of that. He couldn't get out of the way of that. And I'm sure if Froch anytime Froch is ready to close that one out, it's a done deal. As far
Eddie Hearn then delivers a much more serious assessment, describing John Fury as a kid in pain. The comment suggests that Fury's aggression may come from deeper emotions rather than simple promotion, making his behavior even more difficult to predict.
They still exist, regardless of his mental state. But I see a kid in pain, I've got to be honest with you, I don't see how people around him can be looking at his behaviour and being comfortable with it. And I don't.
Liam Smith believes the situation is an example of hype going badly wrong. In his view, Carl Froch was dragged into an uncomfortable confrontation that quickly went far beyond the normal trash talk expected between rivals.
To drum something up, I think he does want the Froch fight. I think Froch just called him a little bit on YouTube, but I think Carl got uncomfortable there. Darren's a fucking lunatic, so last thing he wants, Darren still jumping out the ring to you, fucking threatening to choke you and all that, do you know what I mean? So it's the last thing I'd want anyway, so fucking I think Carl just got off rather than have the aggro of, Darren sitting in front of him, screaming, shouting and spitting in his face.
Carl Froch isn't playing games anymore. He's sending a direct warning to John Fury and making it clear that if this rivalry becomes an official fight, he intends to settle everything physically inside the ring.
Promotion. I think it's great promotion. I think it's ugly. I think it's
not a cheap shot.
But they don't. Of course, it's a cheap shot.
Do you know what I'm surprised, Simon?
Boxing is littered with cheap shots.
But they don't need to sell the fight, really, do they?
Exactly, Danny. Well, they do and they don't. To the boxing world,
Pay-per-view, you mean?
Yeah.
Simon, people see through it.
There's only one thing worse than people talking about you. It's people not talking about you.
Yeah, but it's how they're talking about you. Look at the messages coming.
John Fury, however, doubles down instead of showing remorse. He dismisses his critics as idiots and appears almost proud of the chaos surrounding him. Rather than backing away, Fury continues embracing the intimidation and controversy that have followed him.
But there's always idiots, isn't there? And at the end of the day, you come face to face with a fighting man, you're going to get something, aren't you? Or else the fighting man ain't supposed to be what he is he? And I'm John Fury.
Is it perfect?
The only John Fury, that's me.
Eddie Hearn admits an uncomfortable truth. Controversy sells tickets. While he recognizes that the headbutt crossed a serious physical and personal line, he also knows the incident has made this rivalry far more interesting to fans around the world.
I mean, listen, it's boxing, it's family. John's John. Both goading each other. Both very personal. Both means a lot to everybody. Shouldn't have done it, but he's done.
John Fury continues portraying himself as a rugged warrior who doesn't need modern methods, coaches, or sports science. His approach is based on toughness, instinct, and raw determination, believing those qualities can overcome a former world champion.
Another running video this morning, but not just a running video. I'm going to be the first man to fight a three-time Hall of Famer. We're just doing it myself. John Fury style. Running, bare knuckle, heavy bag, eating, living in the woods, chopping trees, eating the filth of the earth. I'm doing it gypsy style. I'm going to prove to everybody out there where...
Carl Froch fires straight back with confidence, mocking John Fury's wild training claims and making it clear he isn't intimidated. Froch insists he is willing to fight anyone, anywhere, under any conditions.
Anybody over 50, I'll fight him. 'Cause I'm a fighting man. Any man born from his mother, I'll fight him. Over 50 years old, on the hard road, in the ring, in the pub, in the back of a gypsy caravan site. You're not a fighting man, because I'll have a fight with you. I'll fight you for a fiver. I'll beat you for a tenner. I'll do you both for 15. Woo, I've got to take a breather, listen.
Liam Goff reveals that the feud may have deeper roots than many fans realize. According to Goff, John Fury previously connected his willingness to fight with money, while Carl Froch reportedly offered to send his payment to charity instead. That difference has added another layer to the rivalry.
John Fury was doing that and goading Carl Froch. And I know John Fury doesn't like Carl Froch. Carl Froch mentions him, although I haven't really watched much of Carl Froch's videos lately. But Carl Froch, I know, has mentioned John Fury in the past. He's had a go with John Fury. They actually talked about having an actual, was it an exhibition or a boxing type match? And John Fury, the, any man, any time, was saying words to the effect of, oh, I'll fight you, Carl Froch, but the money has to be right. And Carl Froch basically said, all right, well, if we arrange payment, it can...
Gareth A. Davies offers another explanation for John Fury's behavior. He suggests that Fury's explosive temper may be driven by intense paternal passion and his instinct to protect his sons. That mindset can push him beyond rational limits when he feels challenged.
What John does, he's very, very, very passionate around his sons when they're fighting, and it gets something out of him. I spoke to him, right, literally face to face, and I said, well, what is upset? He said, I don't want people calling me out because I'll take any man on. Yeah. You know the comments. Yeah. My guy.
So there it is. The alleged head, but has transformed John Fury versus Carl Froch from a war of words into one of boxing's biggest controversies. Eddie Hearn has expressed concern. Duke McKenzie has warned about Froch's power, and Carl Froch appears ready to take the rivalry even further. Whether this is fatherly passion, pure showmanship, or something deeper, one thing is clear. Carl Froch isn't just talking anymore. He wants an official fight, and John Fury's next move could determine where this explosive rivalry goes from here.